Provincial Attestation Letter Requirement. A major setback for international students in Canada. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. If you're planning to study in Canada, be prepared for major changes. The government has introduced a new requirement that's making it harder than ever for international students to secure a study permit. It's called the Provincial Attestation Letter or PAL, and if you don't have one, your application won't even be considered. This new rule has created delays, confusion, and financial stress for thousands of students worldwide. But why was it introduced? Is it really about regulating student numbers? Or is it just another immigration restriction in disguise? More importantly, how can you still navigate these challenges and increase your chances of studying in Canada? Stay with us until the end because we'll break everything down. How the PAL system works, why it's controversial, and most importantly, what you can do to overcome it. And if you're serious about staying informed on Canadian immigration changes, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Let's get started. Why studying in Canada is becoming more difficult. Canada has long been a top destination for international students. With its world-class universities, diverse communities, and postgraduate job opportunities, it attracts hundreds of thousands of students every year. But things have changed drastically. Canada has started tightening study permit regulations, making it much harder for students to come to the country. It all started in 2024, when the government cut the number of study permits by 40%, significantly reducing the number of international students allowed in. Now, in 2025, Canada has introduced another hurdle, the Provincial Attestation Letter requirement. This rule has already caused delays, uncertainty, and financial losses for students. What exactly is the PAL system, and why is it making things harder for international students? What is the Provincial Attestation Letter requirement? The Provincial Attestation Letter is now mandatory for most students applying for a Canadian study permit. Introduced in early 2024 by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, this rule requires that students first obtain approval from the province or territory they wish to study in before applying for a study permit. In simple terms, before students even submit their applications, they must first prove to the province that they are worthy of a spot in its education system. Who needs a PAL? Not all students require a PAL, but most post-secondary applicants do. Undergraduate students, diploma students, and certificate program applicants must obtain a PAL before applying for a study permit. Graduate students, master's and PhD students, are currently exempt, meaning they do not need a PAL to apply. Primary and secondary school students do not require a PAL. Students already inside Canada renewing their study permit for the same institution and program do not need a PAL either. So why did the government introduce this requirement, and what problem is it trying to solve? Why did Canada introduce the PAL requirement? The government claims that the PAL requirement was introduced to control the rising number of international students and ease pressure on essential services such as housing, healthcare, and education resources. In recent years, Canada has seen a record surge in student arrivals. While this has been good for the economy, it has also led to housing shortages, rising living costs, and increased demand for public services. To address these concerns, Canada first cut study permits by 40% in 2024. In 2025, the government has further reduced the number of study permits to 437,000, marking a 10% decrease from the previous year. The PAL requirement is supposed to help provinces manage student numbers. But is this system actually working, or is it just making life harder for students? How the PAL system is hurting students. Many students and education experts believe the PAL system has created more problems than it solves. Let's break down the biggest issues. 1. Delays and confusion. Each province has its own process for issuing PALs, leading to inconsistencies, delays, and confusion. There is no national system for processing PALs, so students must navigate different rules depending on where they apply. Some provinces issue PALs quickly, while others have massive backlogs. Many students have no idea when, or even if, they will receive their PAL, leaving them stuck uncertain about their future. These delays can have serious academic and financial consequences. Many students rely on timely study permit approvals to secure housing, arrange travel, and prepare for their new life in Canada. A delay in receiving a PAL can force students to defer their studies, miss housing deadlines, or even lose scholarship opportunities. Some students end up enrolling in other countries because they cannot afford to wait indefinitely for approval. The uncertainty creates stress and anxiety, leaving students questioning whether Canada is still the best choice for their education. What makes it worse is the lack of transparency in the process. Some provinces do not provide clear timelines or criteria for PAL issuance, leaving students in frustrating limbo. Without consistent updates, many are left refreshing their emails daily, unsure of whether their application is progressing. This lack of clarity has led to widespread complaints from students, education consultants, and universities who argue that the system is inefficient and unnecessarily stressful. 2. Study permits are unevenly distributed. Not all provinces receive the same number of study permit allocations. Some get far more than others, meaning students applying to certain provinces have a higher chance of approval, while others face severe limitations. For example, in 2025, Ontario received 116,740 study permits. Quebec got 72,977. British Columbia secured 53,589. Alberta was given only 32,660. Smaller provinces such as New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Manitoba received fewer than 10,000 each. This unequal distribution frustrates students who may have limited options due to program availability or job prospects in certain provinces. Students who are unable to secure a PAL in their preferred province may be forced to apply elsewhere, even if it means studying in a region that does not align with their career goals, has fewer networking opportunities, or lacks strong industry connections in their field of study. For students pursuing degrees in fields like technology, engineering, or business, where opportunities are concentrated in provinces like Ontario and British Columbia, being pushed to a smaller province could mean fewer job placements, lower salaries after graduation, and weaker chances of securing permanent residency. This creates an imbalance where some students thrive, while others struggle to access the same level of career advancement simply because of where they were placed. Additionally, some provinces may prioritize applicants from certain countries based on past trends, leading to unintentional bias in approvals. A province that has historically received a large number of students from specific countries may continue favoring those regions, making it even harder for students from other backgrounds to secure a study permit. This could disproportionately impact students from underrepresented countries, limiting the diversity of international students across Canada. 3. Increased costs for students. The PAL system has added new financial burdens for international students. Many universities and colleges require students to pay a tuition deposit before they will issue a PAL. This means students must pay up front, even if their study permit is later denied. Some students apply to multiple provinces to increase their chances, leading to multiple application fees just to secure a PAL. 4. Private colleges are struggling. Public universities and colleges receive priority for PAL allocations, leaving private institutions with limited approvals. For example, in Ontario, 96% of all PALs were allocated to public institutions, leaving private colleges with very few spots available. This has led to major enrollment drops, forcing some private institutions to reduce staff or even face closure, which impacts students, faculty, and local economies. Thank you for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Now, let's talk about how you can improve your chances of getting a study permit despite these challenges. How can students overcome these barriers? Even with the PAL requirement, there are ways to increase your chances of getting a study permit. 1. Choose provinces with more study permit allocations. If your program is available in multiple provinces, consider applying to regions with more study permit allocations to boost your chances. 2. Apply as early as possible. Some provinces issue PALs on a first-come, first-served basis. Applying early gives you an advantage before allocations run out. 3. Prioritize public institutions. Since public universities and colleges have better PAL approval rates, choosing one significantly increases your chances of success. 4. Seek professional guidance. If you're unsure how to navigate the PAL process, working with a licensed immigration consultant can help you strategize your application effectively. What this means for your future. The Provincial Attestation Letter requirement was introduced to manage international student numbers, but it has caused delays, financial burdens, and added uncertainty for many. If you're planning to study in Canada, staying informed and acting strategically is now more important than ever. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to Canada Chronicles for the latest immigration updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss breaking news that could impact your future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.